Um, I had many strange animal encounters, and some of them induce fear. You know, when you're in a tent in the jungle and you're just in that stage where you're just tripping, and a monkey screams in your ear. Admittedly, you're separated by a bit of canvas or at least nylon, but there is no fear quite like it. I mean, it is just simply horrifying. It really is a bowel-emptying experience. But probably the oddest, simply because, you know, almost all the ones that were really extraordinary, I had predicted, because I knew I was going to see gorillas, I knew I was going to see chimpanzees and rhinos and tree lions. Amazing to be under a tree and suddenly see there's a lion staring down at you, this particular subspecies or clan of lions in western Uganda in the Queen Elizabeth Park there. I mean, that's extraordinary. And so there were lots of things like that, but the oddest was the weta, I think. A weta is a New Zealand insect of more than usually repellent aspect. They look really horrific, and some of them are very malevolent, or at least they'll bite. But in fact, one of the biggest and ugliest ones is quite friendly. And I had one crawling around on my arm, and it peed on me. It peed all over me, living up to its name of weta, although it's not spelt like that. And I discovered, and it's just such an interesting discovery that so few people on this planet could ever make, that I am allergic to weta pee. I'm allergic to the pee of a rare and endangered insect that only exists in New Zealand. And I found that a very exciting moment. I got a little eczematic reaction and scratched for the following week. So there you are. I mean, that's not something you'd ever guess would happen. But nothing really compares to the sight of Mark Carwardine's nape being ravished by a nocturnal parrot of the greatest possible rarity, the rarest parrot species on Earth, of course, the kakapo. That was an amazing sight. And, you know, it has proved very popular on YouTube, and the parrot in question, Sirocco, has a Facebook page and a Twitter identity. It should be a squawk rather than a Twitter identity, but nonetheless, it has actually helped. A lot of money is poured into the Codfish Island group, and to the wider organisation that is supporting them, that is helping the population of kakapo. So that's a good thing. Also, it is a reminder of the peculiarity of the bird. The reason it does that is, of course, as you probably know, birds imprint. Are imprinted by whoever, as it were, the first thing they see when they come out of the shell is their mummy. And this particular kakapo was hand reared because it wasn't like all the others, you know, raised as wild. So it did think it was a human.
Wow.
And that Mark was a rather nice Mrs. Kakapo.
There's certainly memories that you'll never forget.
Yeah, I mean, one is in no position to complain, let's be honest. It is an amazing opportunity to do what I did, to travel around the world to some of the most beautiful and extraordinary places in the world, to look at some of the most extraordinary and beautiful animals in the world, and to talk actually also to some of the most extraordinary people in the world, because I do think that the point about conservation is that in each place we went, where animals were thriving, it's because there was a group of people, sometimes even just one person, of extraordinary passion and commitment, tireless belief that this species could be saved. There was Don Merton in New Zealand, for example, who had started this with his incredible pioneering work with the Chatham Island black robin, which was a bird of such rarity that when he arrived, there was one female that had been fertilized. The males died, and it had laid eggs, and that was it. One female, Old Blue. Old Blue was, when she died, was mentioned in the New Zealand Parliament. I mean, this was a bird that saved her entire species. I mean, that is unbelievable. Really is phenomenal. And to have stood on Chatham Island and had this black robin, one of them, fluttering around, swooping down, taking some worms that we put down for it. I mean, incredible. It can be done, even absolutely at the brink, when it's 2 seconds to midnight. You can do it. But it usually takes extraordinary individual commitment and understanding, and behind it all, always, people don't like to hear this, well, at least some people don't, but the people who know always know, it should be said, good science. It takes research and knowledge and facts, not guesswork, not blasting in without knowing what's going on. It takes really good science.